like a dream or something. Flow be the meanness, Pablo B, can't you see he the cleanness? And you know who the team is, swear they hate cause that shit is convenient. And just because we living it, don't assume that one of us is lenient, no. Clear head, time to load up my web. Low key, gotta move with the squares. You can't sit up in this bitch instead. Do not tolerate and fucking confess. Only thing we tolerate is that precedence. I'm feeling sick, someone pass me my medicine. I pop pills, I keep herbal remedy. I can't see how you getting ahead of me. Load up the clips, cause my life a movie. And bitch, I'ma shoot for the stars. Walk in the club, we ain't never been there. They already know who we are. I swear you all know just what you was missing. When we all living lost, I'm sorry that I did not pick the phone up. I've been working too hard. I got some plans that could focus my vision. I hit this stool and I brought ammunition. She wanna goose, but she moved like a pigeon. You can't be queen, you was never a princess. Pablo's on cruise with impossible missions, but I roll with God and it's possible with him. They claiming this, but they claim they convincing. You know I hate it when you play the victim. Yeah, you know what's Pearlz. If you mention my name, then I'm gon' need a check. She kinda icy, her kitty hot, but you know I bust it down, left the pearls on the neck. If every day I can't have no regrets, but I'm ready to die if it's about my respect. Every time they think that they seen it all, I just remind them that they ain't seen nothing yet. No, they couldn't see this coming. The shit that I dreamed of, told you I had to gather the team up. Build the team, but we up with the cream up. And they hate cause the hate is convenient. You must not have nothing to do. If you up and hope you got the beam with, I really got nothing to lose, no. Oh no, we never seen this coming. Feel like a dream or something. We really on the scene, bitch.
Hold on, man. They ain't seen this coming, man.
Hey, man.
They ain't seen this coming, man. We got Pearlz in the building, man. Big Pearlito in the building, man.
Appreciate you for having me.
Appreciate you coming on the show, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Speak Your Truth podcast, man. We are here live back at 4K Crib, man. Shout out to the guys, Mike, Jeff, Chris, and obviously 4K, man. 4K with the F. Go follow him. Go follow all the guys, man. But right now, man, like I said, we got Pearlito in the building, man. Welcome.
How y'all doing today? How y'all doing, man? What's going on? Thank you for having me once again. You know, I can't thank you enough, bro. For real, bro. Like,
yeah,
appreciate you,
yes,
man.
One thing about Pearlz, man, one thing. Let me start off right here with this, right? Because usually I kind of plan my episodes, but I didn't do this time, kind of on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because like me and Pearlz kind of linked up at this little function here one time. You know what I'm saying? Good vibes, good energy, everything, of course. It was just natural, like, conversation happening as we was just. I barely knew this man, but I know his brother though. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? We can get into that.
Crazy ass story.
I never knew this man, but I know his brother for like the last 5-6 years. So
it's insane, man.
It's insane.
But
but
they famous though. I be trying to tell them
about Jose, man.
They famous. Shout out little bro, man. Shout out Skinny Jake, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. But yeah, man. One thing about Pearlz, like I said, like he just. A guy, you humble, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. You obviously started to show off with that, you know what I'm saying? Just coming on and giving the flowers to the show. But I'm going to give my flowers to you right back, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, you've been doing your thing with music, doing your things with WE4THEM, man. So obviously, you being a young entrepreneur, you trying to get some motion going out here, man. I got to give you flowers for that, bro.
Thank you.
Of course, man. But like I say, me and Pearlz linked up at this function, man. We were just chatting up. I was in the stew. Man, this is a secret y'all gonna have on this little episode today, man. Like, people be thinking I can fake rap, you know what I'm saying? Because I be in the stew.
I mean, you was spitting something, though. That was going crazy, you know what I'm saying? Don't be humble now, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man. Listen, I gotta go, because I'm not a rapper. That's not what I'm into. Like, this is what I'm into more so, you know what I'm saying? Basketball has been what I was into, but transitioning from basketball into this, you know what I'm saying? This is what I really, really wanted to, you know, I want to do for reasons that we talk about off camera, like, you know what I'm saying? Building a community, building some type of support, some type of foundation for what we got going on here, you know what I'm saying? You clearly understand the vision, you know what I'm saying, of what that means.
For sure, bro, for sure. I mean, I don't know, man. I was trying to tell you earlier, like, all it is, the podcast, every photographer out here in the community, you know what I'm saying, every videographer, it's all part of this infrastructure, you know what I'm saying, that we need to build. We all need to unite and make this shit happen, not just for us, but for everybody who come after us, you know what I'm saying? If you got a dream out there, you know what I'm saying, you definitely want to be a part of this, man. Like, this, we building something, and it might take a little while. It probably won't take a little while, you know what I'm saying? I give it maybe 2 years, but I can see this thing going a long, long way, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody out there who's doing their thing, you feel me? Especially y'all here in Moco, do your thing, man. Like, I already know, man. Tap in, you feel me?
Yes, sir. Come get with us, man. So, Pearlz, man, let's start a little bit from the beginning, man. You know, where do you come from? You know, who is Pearlz? Where did Pearlz come from? Let's start there.
Okay, who is Pearlz? You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I grew up out Silver Spring, Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Went to school out here, Lake High School. You feel me? Shout out to Bengals. You know, this Pearlz though. Pearlz started out that was a dream itself, you feel me? Like, we talking about my little brother, right? So I'm in college and everything, you know what I'm saying, far away from here, up in Erie, Pennsylvania and shit. And my brother sends me this song. He's like, yo, check out my rap song. And I'm like, what? Like, mind you, I'm in a room with about like, I'm in the room with my friend Tyree, shout out Reed, you feel me? My man's Arthur, you met Arthur before, AC, Dreadhead dude,
okay,
you feel me?
What's up, man?
And my man's Cap, he out Houston and shit like that, but you know what I'm saying, like, we gonna get to that later. I'm in the room with them three, you know what I'm saying, we doing our thing, sparking a little weed and whatever. And he sends me this song, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to, they like, play that shit real quick, you feel me? So I was just peeping everybody's reaction to the music, like, okay, like me, like, I was genuinely curious, I wanted to see what's going on, right? He sends the song, play the song, and like, you know, immediately my man's Cap is just like, oh yeah, shout out Jose, yeah, Lil Jose. He never met Jose in his life before, but he's like, yeah, Lil Jose, bro, he doing that thing, you feel me? Like, and then my man's Reed's like, you know what I'm saying, like, shout out to Reed, he shows a lot of love, don't get me wrong, but like, Reed was like instantly like, oh nah, cut it off. And I was like, damn, that's two opposing, like, you know what I'm saying, like, viewpoints to the joint. And Arthur was just like, let's just listen, you feel me? And I'm listening to the song, like, I feel like Arthur's always right. That's my right-hand man, you feel me? So
shout
like,
out Arthur, man.
Yeah, shout out AC, bro. Like, he was like, let's just listen. So we're listening to it, and I'm like, hearing it, I'm like, bro, he can really fucking rap. Like, this is like, he really got something going here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope he's taking this shit serious. So like, I get back home and everything, and I'm like, bro, Jose, like, let's do this shit, let's make this shit happen, you feel me? I'm having issues at my 9-to-5 job and shit like that, and I'm just like, you know what, like, I'm calling Arthur up, I'm like, yo, let's start a label, let's make this shit happen on our own, let's do our thing, you feel me? So, you know, I'm trying to make that shit happen. Like, I was really trying to be a behind the scenes guy at first, like, I wanted to be a manager, all of that stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to make no music at first, like, I just didn't see it, like, I didn't see that in my future, like, at the time. And then, like, you know, it was hard to get my brother to focus on things. Like, he wanted to do what he wanted to do, and I understood, like, you can't force anybody to do anything. Right? This was my dream. This was my vision. So, like, you know, I remember the fateful day, like, you know, I'm going to the studio. I'm like, Jose, I got some studio time booked for you. You feel me? Come on. Yeah. And he's like, man, since you think it's so easy to make a song, you do it. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, I'm about to sit down, I'm about to write some music up, you feel me? And like, yeah, like, we hit the studio that day. You know, that song that we dropped, that we made, never heard before. Like, my man Stacking took me to the studio. Shout out Stacking, you feel me? L Stacking. He took me to the studio. We did the song, wrote the song up. Great song, but like, we never ended up dropping anything like that. Like, that shit was just, you know, it was just that. And then, like, after that, like, I let people hear the song. They're like, yo, like, this is what you gotta be doing. Like, do this shit. Like, I'm fucking with your lyrics. I'm fucking with the words. I'm like, okay, like, I'm gonna do this. You feel me? And I had to take that kind of leap, but it's like, it's a lot more leaps after that you gotta take. It's not, that's just the first leap that got me out there, like, okay, like, alright, I can do this, you feel me? So that's where kind of it started, like, that's where Pearlz started out, you feel me? Like, if anybody wants to know, like, that's where Pearlz was born, you feel me? In that booth that night, you know, when my brother said, if you think it's so easy to make a song, you do it. And I'm not the type of person to back down from no challenge. So, yeah,
that's good. So talk about your process then, as far as like making a song. That what did you learn about making music from that moment though? Like,
from that moment,
yeah, like, because clearly to Jose, like, that shit was hard. You know what I'm saying? And that it takes time. And even me, sometimes when I be playing around, just kind of like just doing stuff just for fun. Like, I find myself not being able to finish a song. You know what I'm saying? So, what is your process like as far as like actually making a song? You know, completing it.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest right now. Okay, so when he said that shit to me, I was like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna go do it. But like, mind you, when Jose was making music, and this is why I say, like, he fire shit. Like, he's making music on his phone. It sounded great, you know what I'm saying? But he's just doing that shit. Like, not really taking no time and effort to it. He's just doing this shit. I'm like, that's amazing. You feel me? Like, I know guys who can do that. But with me, it was like, when I went to the studio, I really understood, and that was the first time I really seen how much actually went into it.
Right.
You feel me? Like, the engineer being there and all of that stuff. Shout out my man Chuki. It was a lot. You feel me? Right. I'm looking at Pro Tools for the first time. It was a whole bunch of buttons and everything. I'm just like, wow, like, this is insane. Like, so I understood, and I realized how hard it was to make a song. Like, we in the studio with a real microphone, and like, I say my first bar, and I'm thinking like, okay, this is nothing, like, cause I practiced this at home so many times. Like, I've practiced my words and everything. I say it, I'm like, I hear it back, and I'm like, the first time I'm hearing my voice back, you know, like, that's it. When you hear your voice back, I know you know from the podcast and everything. When you're hearing your own voice, it's like, and you never done heard your voice before, it's some crazy shit. Like, you just like, damn, like, I feel like nobody likes the sound of their own voice. So like, I'm seeing that shit, I'm just like, damn, like, nah, let me do that again. Nah, let me do that again. And it's like, I ended up taking like 20 minutes on that first one little bar, like that one take, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like, you know, I'm just like, damn, like this shit is hard, but I never stopped though. That didn't discourage me or anything like that. It just made me see like, okay, like it made me appreciate a little bit more the guys who's doing that shit. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, like I understand now, and that kind of just put a little battery on the back, like, all right, let's go harder. You feel me? Let's figure out what we're doing wrong here. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's try and make it better. You know what I'm saying? For people's ears and stuff like that. So
right.
That's kind of what I learned from that moment right there. Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, it's like what you said, like hearing yourself back for that first time too, kind of. And did you? We were talking about this a little off camera, right? As far as like startup, because like 2 years ago, this is what I was trying to do as far as like the podcast and everything. Yeah. And kind of what you're saying, like I was kind of like, oh, I don't know how I feel about how I sound specifically. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, overcoming that, like, you know, clearly now fast forward, like you got beautiful music, you got great music. So, you know, what barriers did you kind of have to overcome, especially being a local guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like everybody has to start from somewhere. So, with your beginning, like, you know, what barriers do you feel like you had to get through to kind of say, you know what, let me just keep doing what I got to do so that people know that I can rap for real?
That mental barrier is a big mental barrier on all creators for real. It's not just me. I'm sure a lot of people go through. It's like you get to overthinking about your own work. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something that I had to overcome. Like, just stop overthinking my own work. Like, just go ahead and do. Like, and I talk about the first song I put out. Like, the first song I put out was Dead People. You know what I'm saying? With King Keith. Shout out King Keith. You know, he got something dropping soon. That right there was like the first time I'm in the studio. I was like, you know, like me and Keith would talk about making a song, and like we go to the studio. I booked the session or whatever. Like. And like literally he sent me a beat that day and I just write it out. I'm like, you know, this is the one. Like I go in there, we do it. Keith does his part, it does his thing, and I'm like, you know what, Keith's like, I'm about to drop this next week. Like I don't care about anything. Like I'm about to drop this at the end of this week. Like and I did that joint, you feel me? And then I really seen like, okay, like everything that I was tripping about with all my, cause I have recorded so many songs before that. Everything that I was thinking about before that, like I'm tripping, you feel me? That's not even the best song I recorded, but me dropping this song, put it out like first like 3 days, like 3K plays on like SoundCloud. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like people fucking with this joint, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that shit really showed me something right there. I was like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is just like that mental barrier, that me doubting myself. It's really you versus you for real. That's what I need people to understand. Like it's not, you know, all that shit in your head about, man, what if people don't like. First of all, take out the what if and then take out the people too, because like people don't give a fuck about what you got going on until you make them give a fuck about what you got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we gonna get back to it.
Yeah, like that's really what it was. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let me forget about everybody else. Let me just stop listening to that voice in my head that's like thinking about the what if people and let me just do shit. You feel me? Right. And that ended up being like the best thing I could do because now it's like now I can move freely in life, like not just in the studio, not just with the lemonade or anything like that, but like in life, I can move freely without having to worry about what other people think, you know. And that was the biggest barrier, like at the time.
No, I definitely felt that. That's similar to me, man. Honestly, because you know, especially, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's too different because obviously it's still creation of something, but like you know, conversation is kind of real particular. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. For me, it was about making sure I express what I need to express the right way so that people can get the message. You know what I'm saying? And with words, it's so tricky, right? You got like. That's part of the reason why I actually did do this because you know I've been that kind. I've kind of been that person that I kind of people just naturally just say, hey, like what do you think about this? Or,
bro,
like,
conversations art. I'm gonna just say that.
Nah, for real though, and and I've learned over the years like this, even the slightest like kind of like tone can like kind of set someone or give the wrong impression or just you know what I'm saying just a difference between two letters honestly sometimes, bro. Like that can make a huge thing. So that for me like. In my start of my beginning, I was kind of just like, okay, yeah, me and Adrian, first of all, shout out to my bro, man. He not here today, he can't be with us. Shout out to Adrian. You know what I'm saying? But in the beginning, it was just like, all right, how do we kind of attack this? How do we, you know what I'm saying? How do we get this message off, but by not kind of, you know what I'm saying, stepping on the wrong toes or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's like you said, it's an art to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And word choice, you know what I'm saying, articulation, how you deliver it, it's all the same thing in music, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the same thing in music.
Absolutely, you was hitting every point on the money, like you know. That's why I understand everything you're saying, like you know. And it's funny that you talking about conversations and podcasts, you know what I'm saying. But everything you're saying, it goes for music, you know what I'm saying. It goes for poetry, it goes for like, and not just like spoken word poetry. I'm into that. So like, it's the same thing. Spoken word poetry. It's like you know, it's the same thing with music. It's the same thing like you delivery. You feel me? All of that is key. Like. how you say something, when you say something, like everything matters. So that's why I say like conversation is art. Like this is, you know, you doing a variation of what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? We just getting the message out at the end of the day.
For sure.
Feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I get you, bro. Trust me, like this shit is. It's art, man. Yeah, it's art, man.
For sure.
And you are creative too, bro. Yeah. Trust me, bro.
Trying to feel that way, you know what I'm saying?
Feel that way, man.
Trying to feel that way, you know what I'm saying?
Feel that way, man.
And that is like another thing I learned too, because you know, obviously, like just watching other people, I'm pretty sure you feel like you could watch like Lil Wayne or Drake or whatever, say, okay, yeah, you can say, oh, all right, they put words together this way, like I can probably do that. And that's what I was kind of thinking, like when I was watching guys like me, I was in the game, and like I Am Athlete, All the Smoke, all these podcasts. I'm like, okay, well, these guys are just talking. I thought I could do that. Like I really thought I could just talk, but you can't just do that. You know what I'm saying? Everything I've talked about before, like even when I put some little slides on my Instagram now with the you know, trying to get y'all to see what we talking about on here. You know what I'm saying? Obviously I'm gonna chop this up every now and then too, just so they can get these little bits and pieces. But you know, having that plan too, like that's important. So that's my next question to you. So like, when you knew that you had that kind of like, all right, I'm good with this. You know what I'm saying? I got past the mental barrier. Like, what was the planning process like now from there?
Okay. Mind you, I'm new to the music industry. I'm new to the music game and all of that stuff. Like, and this was like when I first started out. And mind you, we about to get to how this was created, right? How we ended up starting like a juice company off of this music shit, right? I'm thinking to myself, like, how do I get this music out to people? And I'm thinking like, oh, like, cause I done been at parties and everything, and I'm like, you know what, like, let me tell them I make music. Let me tell them check me out. Nobody gives a fuck.
They don't. Yeah.
Nobody gives. For all my musicians who just starting out, nobody gives a fuck, man. Like
it's sad though.
It's sad though. But like we working on changing that. Don't get me wrong.
That's why we
here. You feel me? That's why we here. You feel me? But like, nobody gives a fuck. You have to make them give a fuck. I'm gonna stress that over and over again. Like you have to make people give a fuck. So how I did it personally myself, I'm like, yo, how do I show people that I'm good at this, right? Without like having them turn their back on me. Like I need like 2 minutes of people time, but like it's really hard to get 2 minutes of people time. You're like, yo, I make music.
Trust me,
nobody cares.
And I know how hard it is because I do sales as part of my job. You know what I'm saying? My 9 to 5 is my other part-time job as part of the sales. Like just to stop, have someone stopped, like just stop and get your attention.
For a minute to take time.
Not even a minute, 30 seconds, bro. It's hard to do, bro.
Hard as shit.
Hard to do. So go ahead, keep going.
You gotta catch them, right? And this is another thing. Like I'm a natural salesman too. Like I believe that the world is business. Everything that goes on in the world is business, right? So how do you sell music, right? Without trying to sell music. This is how I did it. I created a tangible product, right? WE4THEM Lemon. Unfortunately, like that's the one thing I forgot. Man. I was gonna bring it out and everything, but like you know what? Like this is me. Like I gotta be more prepared the next time we do this. You know what I'm saying? But yo, like. Tangible product, right? I'm like, instead of going up to people and telling them I make music, let me have something to show them. I'm like, and then now I don't tell people like, yo, do you? I make music. Check me out on Apple Music and Spotify. Right. I say, yo, do you like lemonade? And like that instantly, like, why is this motherfucker asking me if I like lemonade? Yeah, I like lemonade. So, all right, let me show you this right here, right? And I'm pulling out this product, like, yo, like this is, you know what I'm saying? So let me tell you about this brand right here. This is WE4THEM. This is what we stand for. You feel me? Like, boom, 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 like. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. Like, you know, this is not just for me, it's for us. I always say, like, it ain't for us. You know what I'm saying? So that's our whole little logo, Love, Life, Lemons and all of that.
Yeah.
So I tell people like, yeah, like, you know, and inadvertently, like, you know how we was trying to talk about that 30 seconds of people time? Yeah. I'm having this conversation for 10 to 15 minutes with people.
Exactly, yeah.
And they getting to know me and all of that stuff. And they're like, yeah, I fuck what you do. I'm like, oh, word, you fuck with me? All right, bet, cool. If you fuck with me, check it out. Like, I put a QR code on the bottom. I'm like, yo, scan this right here, and this is just gonna take you to all the links. It's gonna take you to our Instagram page. You feel me? I'm not just one guy. Like it's 4 of us for. So like this is gonna take you to like all of our music links and stuff like that. Shout out the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out the guys. Shout them out.
AC. You feel me? We all doing this shit. So yeah, like this is everything right here. Now you can put something behind this. Like now when you go home, you just like, yo, I met these guys. I met this guy who was selling me lemonade today, like the juice man or whatever. You feel me? And it's like, yeah, like okay, he was pretty cool. Let's check him out. You feel me? Like scan the QR code. That's another experience in itself. Like you get to scan the QR code, and now, all of a sudden you got a link tree pop up, and you're like, whoa, like this motherfucker serious. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's how I gained a lot of fans is doing that shit right there. Like so. I mean, that was my plan. Like that, it went further than I
about to say. No, and honestly, bro, I'm sitting here just listening to you kind of put that out there. Like it's like that's smart as hell, though. honestly, like
gotta make people care.
Local guys. This was game. Like that was game. Like if you can, it don't have to be lemonade.
It doesn't have to.
It don't gotta be lemonade, but get you that product, get you that tangible product. I started myself recently with the wristbands.
Wristband. I'm gonna need one of them joints.
Man, I got the breast cancer ones coming out soon, man.
Word,
Yes, sir.
Hey, check them joints out.
They on the way. But no, the tangible things do go a long way because it's that recognition that I can hold the brand. I can hold. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like listen to this. Like you gotta hold. You can hold something, you're gonna remember it. If, like you just said, if you just go run to someone and you try to talk to them about your lemonade, if let's say they don't buy, let's say
the music, they don't fuck with the music. Nobody cares about the music.
Right, exactly. First, right? So let's go back to the lemonade. Let's say let's talk about the lemonade and they don't buy it. They don't buy the lemonade. Now that's two things that's gone. So like really like you don't even get the lemonade to get you that opportunity to have someone hear your music.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that goes to show like how big that tangible piece is because now that they have the lemonade, they holding that bottle. You can scan that QR code. It's gonna take you to Pearlz. It's gonna take you to Sliz. It's gonna take you to all. Stacking.
You
know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all.
Can't forget my boy. Can't forget my boy.
My bad, y'all. But listen, man, it's gonna take you out of all them boys, all the guys, man, for real. Because that's the huge piece. Like you got to make people hold the brand, retention, recognition, all that. Like
it's funny you said. In this case, you can taste the brand.
Literally though.
You can taste it.
WE4THEM. This is an unofficial ad.
You can taste it.
You say
love life, lemon, baby. You know what's going on, man.
This episode is sponsored by the guys, man. My boy.
Man. I wish I had something with me, bro. I really fucked up not bringing that right now, but
oh yeah.
So I hear you though, bro.
For sure. Yeah. So
in your case, you can wear the brand.
Wear the brand.
You know what I'm saying?
Wear the brand.
That's major. Like,
guys, t-shirts, hoodies, bracelets, man. People. Man, I'm not even gonna go too deep. Like you said, sometimes you got sell the game.
Don't tell him too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy Zah, shout out Zah. He always say some shit. The game is to be sold, not told, bro. You're not telling everything today, you feel me? So sometimes some things you gotta pay for, man. It is what it is.
Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? That's what it costs sometimes.
It costs sometimes. It costs to be the boss. You feel me?
Yeah, no. So about you being a boss, you mentioned that, right? As far as like you didn't necessarily see yourself being in music, but you want to be a manager.
Yeah.
Do you? And I kind of picked that up with the WE4THEM kind of translation from that into music. So like, is WE4THEM like your what you manage so that you can like obviously it's what you do to get your music out there, but like do you manage that as well to like actually like kind of taking on responsibility and saying like I got this like?
Yes, but I also divide a lot of the responsibility because honestly I'm a busy person. I do a lot of shit day by day, so it's like. Excuse my language for anybody out there who don't like my potty mouth. I'm gonna just apologize because I know there's gonna be a lot of people watching this journey, like family and relatives and stuff like that. So, like, but I do a lot of stuff on a day-to-day basis. So it's like, and it's something that I learned from somebody else. Shout out. We're gonna shout them out later because we're gonna talk about all of that. Okay. But I learned like you need a team. You know what I'm saying? You need a team. Like whenever you're trying to be successful in something, like. It's you can do it by yourself. It's not impossible, but you need a team.
I gotta say that one more time.
You can do it by yourself. It's not impossible, but having a team makes it way more possible.
It's important is
super important, super important, super vital. Bro. So that's why, I got my guys on this shit. Like, Stacking took me to the studio for the first time, so I involved him like Ashley, like Sliz, Poppy. My boy Arthur, AC, you know what I'm saying? Those have been my guys for a very long time. So it's like, they literally, when I first mentioned this idea, I had brought it to Arthur and everything. And Arthur was like, he's listening. Like, mind you, remember when I was telling you about when we was listening to Jose's first song? Yeah. Like, Arthur was always the type to listen and make a decision. So he's listening. He's like, all right, let's do it. You feel me? Like, come on, lead the way type shit. You feel me? And it's like, everybody has a different way around it, you know what I'm saying? Like my boy Stacking is like he's just like okay, like he's also gonna listen, much like Arthur, he's also gonna listen, but he's always gonna throw a curveball in there about like, all right, so like I see what you're saying, but what if we try this? You feel me? And I like that. I love that.
Exactly.
With Sliz, it's like, okay, like, and this is what I love too. Don't get me wrong. Like this is sometimes you need this, right?
Yeah.
With Sliz, it's always no, it's not gonna work. You feel me? And it's like you need that.
You do need that though.
You need that
though. Yeah.
People don't understand. People always take shit to heart and they take it personal. Like, yo, like, what you mean? Like, nah, like, and I understood. That's how Sliz is. Sliz has to see something. You feel me? He has to be like, I need to see some progress. I need to see some work. Like, come on, like, so like that put a battery in my back too. Like, okay, like he needs to see this working. And then once he saw like the potential, like once he saw like what we can do with this, he was like, okay, like, and he helped us go a lot further. You feel me? Because he's putting in a lot of work. So it's like, you know, we all got roles and everything. We all got positions. Yeah, like I consider myself a leader. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I'm a leader in the pack of alphas.
Right.
You feel me? Like
sure.
everybody got their own role to play. Everybody's better at something, and you know, he's good at this. He's good at this. He's good at this.
And let's stay on that. Like how important is that though? Like really emphasize how important it is for everybody to play their role in the team.
Honestly, like, dude, it's like a football team. We come from. Like, I played football in high school. I'm sure you played basketball, right?
I played a little bit of football too.
So you get it a little bit. It's kind of the same in basketball. Like everybody has to play their role. Like if everybody want to shoot threes, ain't nobody getting rebounds. How the fuck is that gonna work? You feel me?
It ain't gonna work.
It's not.
Yeah.
And then football team, like, bro, not everybody can be receiving. Not everybody can go run them routes. Somebody got to block. You feel me? Somebody got to throw the ball. Like, you feel me? Like, not everybody has to do something. Like, especially like in that 11-man game. Like, literally, if one guy messes up, that'll fuck up the whole operation.
Whole operation, yeah.
You feel me? And it's like, it's probably the same in basketball. Like, you know, I'm sure it's like that in a lot of team sports. Like, if one guy fucks up, it'll ruin the whole operation. And a lot of the time, like, you may not notice it until after you lost. You feel me? And that's why I say it's so vital to play your role. Everybody got to play their role because, like, you know, we're not going to notice where we fuck up at until we lose.
Right.
And the whole point of this is to not lose. Like, I ain't going to lie. Wins and losses comes with being bosses, but, like, we not playing to lose.
You can't play to lose. No.
You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. Like every mistake, you learn from that mistake, you do better. But like we're not playing to lose. Like, you know, at the end of this shit, like it's gonna be a legacy we leave behind. So that's why I'm like, you know, that's why I'm crucial on the roles and everybody. It's important. It was hard to get it down at first because mind you, I'm new to this. Like I don't consider myself like, you know, I wasn't always thinking this way. Like I was high school, I played around a lot and stuff like that. It was like. With like me turning my focus onto this, it's surprising a lot of people and it's showing people that damn, like, you know, this motherfucker doing this shit, but like, you know, I'm still learning this shit. Like it's not nothing that I knew from the jump. It's like I'm learning along the way and stuff. I'm trying to reduce, I'm trying to minimize mistakes, you feel me? And get to that cake. It's that simple.
That's simple. That's simple.
But nah, that's really all I got for that. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, everybody gotta do what they gotta do at the end of the day. But everybody gotta play their role.
For sure. And I'm gonna touch on the team topic real quick while we still here. Like you said, like I feel like it's within our culture too, right? Like just naturally, like everybody feel like they gotta get out the mud. Everybody gotta get on their own. Like they don't need nobody help. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't hate that mentality. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate the mentality, but we gotta be realistic at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be real with ourselves.
Definitely.
Like how much can you really do by yourself? Like you talking about like rapping. All right, you the actual rapper. All right, who gonna help you get the studio time? Who gonna help you? Who gonna be producing the music? Who gonna push it out to people?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who gonna mix it? Like who gonna do all that stuff? You can't do that by yourself. You're literally one person. Like there's only so much that you can do, and that's the point behind having a team. There's only so much that you can do as one person. Right. So like you gotta find them people that you can trust.
Like I said,
you know
it's not impossible at all. Like I know plenty of rappers out there that mix their own shit, themselves and all that stuff. But like,
it can save themselves some time.
But mind you, they had to go through that. They had to learn that shit. It took them years. Every time I see somebody like that, yo, how long it took you to learn this? 10 years. I've been doing this for 12 years.
Right.
I've been doing this for it's a long ass time. Like damn, I'm in the game myself for like 5 at the most. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, bro, I still don't know everything there is to know about this shit. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
But like, you know, people don't understand. Like for people who just start now, and they tell me like, oh yeah, I've been doing this for like 3-4 months. I'm like, oh, you tough, but you know what really goes into this shit? Like, do you understand like all of that and everything you was just saying? Like, yo, there's an engineer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that mind you, there's people who do it on their phone or whatever. Or wherever they at, like, and you know, there's engineers. What's an engineer? Don't know. I'm like, bro, you don't know what an engineer is? Like, bro, that's the motherfucker who records you when you go to the studio. Exactly. I ain't never been to the studio. You ain't never been to the studio? How you making your music? Like, I don't understand. Like, you feel me? And some shit I want to learn from them too. Like, yo, if I can do this shit on my phone, I'll do this shit on my phone too. Right. But like, that's just not an option for me right now. That's what it is. Like, so, yeah, bro, like, it's vital. It's a lot that goes into it. You're right.
Learn to trust people, man. Learn to trust people.
Thanks.
Learn to trust people. I know it's hard out here, especially within how we already think within this culture. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard.
But like that's that key, and that's what makes other places grow. We were talking about this, like the LAs, the New Yorks, the Chicago's, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like there's at some point that one I talked about this with my man AT, man. We talk about respect. respect is the core foundation of any type of relationship.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you got to make sure that all right, you may not like the person, but you can respect what they do.
Facts.
You got to respect. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect what people do. You got to respect how people move. Because one, I said it.